And we're live. Yeah. Roll up gather. Yes, bit of gremlin in the works, but hopefully it's better now. Come in, say hello. Let me know if you can hear me okay. And see me okay as well. So plenty to discuss. Gava, come join. One man went to Mo. A bit of a technical difficulty, but we're back on stream. One man went to Mo. Come join. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Say something in the comment room. Yes, my system froze, Isaac, but I'm back now. Just let me know if you can hear me okay, so I can proceed. I had to reboot, so so that was what happened there. But we are back on now, and important matters to discuss. So come join. One more went to Mo. You know how we do it. You know when we do it. So come join. Yes. So thank you, Isaac. Plenty to discuss, as I said. All matters Nigeria related. The system froze, but it's back on now. So if you were waiting, then it's still ongoing. One man went to Mo. Say hello. Thank you, Isaac. Let me put the invite in. But very important matters to discuss today, as ever. When was there not an important? When was there not important matters to discuss? When it pertains to Nigeria, but very important matters going on. Today is that day, the Igbo day. The lockdown, the sit at home, however you choose to describe it. This is that day when they give account of that order and when the influence of the Ipob movement is fully tested. So how influential are they is the question. And today we get the answers to that. So come join. The Ipob movement is put under the microscope, and we're going to peruse just the extent of their influence. So we discussed that. Sowore shot in Abuja. So we discussed that as well. So plenty to go through. Video clips and audio clips and all manners of accoutrements to go along with the narration. So just chill out, relax, and let's just get straight into the narration. The herdsmen are fleeing from the southeast now, so we discussed that as well. So as I said, plenty to go through. So let's just we wait for the room to just populate a bit more. But whilst we are waiting, we go in celebration. Yes, top of the morning to you, Isaac, and good morning to you, Isaac. So as we are waiting in anticipation, this one especially is for you, Freeman, if you are listening. So this one for Freeman, who has been waiting for this day, and I have put together a montage of exactly what is going on in the East. So watch this.
Holy, 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 another Savior, holy, 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 holy.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In Yamadika, Yabika Kokwanam Noah. Hey, Anamekele Mazuche Mefo. It's an honor having you on board.
So there you have it. That is that Woli song that they sing in that place. So that photo montage that you just saw, I put it together myself against the backdrop of their theme music. So let no one call me anti-Igbo. So what you are looking at now are the streets of Igboland in its entirety, and you can't even see a fowl or a chicken on the street, as a almost total observance of the directive from headquarters is carried out to the letter. Watch again. Okay. So that was one for the Igbo people, almost total compliance with the directive from their headquarters. You saw the streets, and this is virtually the streets of the entirety of Igboland. So a few headline, IPOB sit-at-home order registers total compliance in Anambra. So a lot of the imageries that you saw in that slide that I put together to their backdrop music, a lot of those images from Anambra State, as again, IPOB sit-at-home order register total compliance in Anambra. So the photo montage, and this is the narration. The sit-at-home order by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB on Monday registered total compliance in cities across Anambra State. Markets, banks, motor parks, and other commercial places, including schools and government offices, were under lock and key. Streets around Oka, the state capital, were totally deserted between 7:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. when correspondents moved around the city to monitor compliance level. Contrary to information by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob'S Nnamdi Kanu, that men of the security arm of the group ESN will be unleashed on the streets to enforce compliance to the order. Some motorists attending to emergencies were seen driving along the road without molestation. Correspondents, however, reports that there was heavy deployment of a combined team of security personnel who moved around the town to ensure no one was molested. The Anambra State Police Command had on Sunday assured that it would ensure that those who were willing to come out to carry out their businesses would not be molested by any person or groups of persons. Major markets in the state, including Onitsha Main Market, Eke Oka Market, and Nkwo Nnewi Market, were all shut down as at the time of filing the report. Meanwhile, no incident of violence has so far been registered in the state as a result of the exercise. So the photo montage and the narration to back it up. So speak and do, as they say in the Eastern Quarter, speak and do. So this is an example of speak and do. So again, another caption of that same narration, Southeast shuts down amidst IPOB sit-at-home order. So a different angle from a different newspaper, but the narration remains the same with the photo montage to accompany it. So here it is from a different angle. On Monday, economic and commercial operations in the country's southeast. On Monday, economic and commercial. Oh, I can't get the words out. On Monday, economic and commercial operations in the country's southeast area came to a halt. This is in accordance with the proscribed group Indigenous People of Biafra's sit-at-home directive. According to IPOB spokesperson Emma Powerful, people and vehicular mobility will be limited across the southeast on Monday to commemorate the Biafra's 54th anniversary. As a result, the streets of Nnewi, the capital of Imo State, were deserted. Businesses, schools, and other important economic centers were closed. Movement in vehicles were also anchored. However, security officers were stationed in key locations throughout the city to prevent any breakdown in law and order. The streets of Abia State were vacant and shops were locked up. Whilst the scenario was similar in Anambra State, economic and social activities have been halted and peace and order is being maintained by a significant security presence in the state's largest cities. In Ebonyi State, the scenario is similar, with few automobiles spotted on the roadway. The interior streets were desolate, with security personnel stationed at various points. no person would be penalized if he or she decides to stay at home, according to the state governor, Dave Umahi. Many businesses in Asaba, the capital of Delta State, were also closed as locals adhered to the sit-at-home directives. Banks and commercial malls were shut down. Most businesses were shuttered at the famed wood market along Asaba Onitsha motorway, with only a few sellers present. The freeway leading to the head bridge was desolate, and shops along the route were closed as well. So a near 100% for the eastern quarters. But what does this mean, and what does this portend? Celebrations in Igboland.
Holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior.
So yes, so celebrations in Igboland, as I said, as they chant and wail to their Woli Woli song. So that was their Woli Woli song. And to their heels, the Fulanis have taken, of course, now reading the signs on the wall, reading the writings on the wall. Fear as herdsmen flee southeast, invade BENUE communities. So, of course, now a categorical get out of town, the signal that we're reading to this now total compliance from directives from England via Emma Powerful, that because this is the acid test, you see, to say the potency of that Ipob'S movement, and what we're getting as feedback now is showing the strength and reach of that movement, and the signal now is now being calibrated by the people who are most impacted upon, and adjustments are being made accordingly. Again, the headline, fear as herdsmen flee southeast, invade BENUE communities. So now let's now see now how the Fulanis take to their heels. Fulani herdsmen hitherto grazing in the southeast part of Nigeria have reportedly fled this zone and are now settling in some communities in Ogbo-Dibo, Opoku, Ado, and other local government areas of Benue State. The invasion may not be unconnected with the current unrest in the southeast, birthed by the activities of the Eastern Security Network, ESN, which was established by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, to stop the activities of herdsmen in the region. The recent resolve by the southern governors who banned open grazing in the region may have also triggered the sudden relocation to neighboring communities. Correspondence reports that the communities in the aforementioned local government areas are neighboring villages to some parts of Enugu and Ebonyi State. Ogba-Dibo and parts of Opoku are bordered by Udemnu local government area of Enugu State, whilst part of Ado, particularly the Igala community, is bordered by Ebele village, Ngbo in Ohaku local government area of Ebonyi State. Correspondents gathered that the herdsmen are currently settling in some of the communities. Correspondents gathered that the herdsmen are currently settling in some of the communities, triggering tension in the area. Opinion leader and head of the community in Owukwa, Chief, I'm not going to, Chief Agada, let me just use that. I struggle with the Igbo names, even I struggle with non-Yoruba names, I should say. An opinion leader and head of a community in Uwakpa, Chief Agada, told correspondents that some parts of the community have been occupied by the herdsmen. They are everywhere in Uwakpa, but their major base is in Anka. They have clashed with our farmers several times due to destruction of their crops by their cattle. We will be glad if the government can come to our aid to chase them out of our land before they resort to attacking and killing us here, the chief said. A member of the recently disbanded vigilante group, Mr. Adams, who spoke with correspondents in a local government, narrated a similar incident. According to him, there is no part of the community that the herdsman is not using for grazing. We have clashed with them several times, trying to send them away, but trying to send them away from our land, but they always resist. A farmer, Mr. James, who spoke with correspondents in some local government, lamented how his cassava plantation was destroyed by the herders who grazed on his farm. The gentleman revealed that the herders stormed the community recently with their cattle, family, and other property to settle in some villages. We are helpless in this place. Farming is the only business we use to survive, and the Fulani men have come to destroy our only source of hope. When we see them on our land and we complain, they threaten to kill us, and due to the news we have been getting from far places, we have no courage to confront them, he said. Correspondents report that the development is coming despite the efforts of the state government to enforce the open grazing prohibition law across the 23 local government areas of the state. Recall that the state governor, Samuel Otom, in 2017, signed the anti-open grazing bill into law as a measure to end the incessant... Sorry, bear with me. Recall that the state governor, Samuel Otom, in 2017, signed the anti-open grazing law, the anti-open grazing bill into law as a measure to end the incessant crisis between the farmers and the herders. However, the herders who were angered by the law have continued to unleash terror on residents of communities in relatively all parts of the state. Recently, there was a surge in the deadly attacks as many residents have been butchered, whilst over 1 million others have been displaced across the 3 senatorial districts in the state. Recall that armed men suspected to be Fulani militia on Thursday night killed 36 residents in Chikan, Kav community in Kansina Ala local government area of the state. So they've moved them on to BENUE state, essentially, as Igboland flushes their space of Fulani people. So let's just come into the room to take a sample of what you guys are making of it before we move on to the Sowore narration. Sam, we see you. Alexander, we see you too. Sam, are you there? You've still got gremlins in the works. So let me just put Alexander, what are you making of this? Hold on, let me just actually let me just remove him. Yes. So what are you making of this? You saw the feedback coming out of the East, almost a near total compliance with the directive from the IPOB movement. So now, how does this play into the politics of the landscape?
This is not surprising. The 30th of May 67 was when Ojukwu declared secession from Nigeria. This is usually the norm in Igboland for Igbo citizenries to mourn the death of their people. So I'm not surprised. I really don't see a direct correlation between the total abandonment of the streets of Igboland and the directive coming from the great man himself, Nnamdi Kanu. It is the norm over there. I was speaking to someone yesterday in Igboland, and she said that it's usually the case. It might be a little bit emptier this time around compared to normal years, but it's the norm over there. Igbo people lost a lot of people during the Civil War, and like people have rightly said on this platform, there's no one, including my wife's family, that didn't lose anyone during the Civil War. So there's a common denominator. It's something that they do every year, and I sympathize with people who lost loved ones during the Biafra War. It should never have happened, and it should never happen again.
Okay, just off the back of what you said, because I've also heard that narration on this platform that this is a tradition within that space anyway, that they've designated that day as a commemorative day to speak to and to pause and reflect on the losses that was suffered during that Biafra period. Because a lot of people are actually equating Biafra to what happened to the Jews in the Second World War, that it is that monumental an event, and it's only because it happened in Africa that it's not quite as well noted and well acknowledged as it should.
It was genocidal.
It was, yes.
Yeah, there's no two ways about it. And I need to also tell you, because I'm usually on your side because we have a lot of things in common, but you need to, while talking about the space you refer to, the Nigeria you refer to as a geographical space, be sensitive towards the plight of the Igbo person. The Igbo people haven't found it easy as citizens of Nigeria, especially after the Civil War. People, they've been marginalized, they're bitter, there's a lot of anger inside of them. So when you say something that is somewhat offensive, they take it really personally. So you need to maybe sympathize with their plight a little bit and understand where they're coming from. But like I always told you before, the strength of the Igbo man is also his weakness. This Biafra thing is, I told you before, I know these people very well. It's essentially an Igbo thing. If anything's going to happen in Nigeria, it will bring the breakup of Igbo people from Nigeria, not Biafra. Because if you do a count or you do a survey of people in the Bight of Biafra, that place that people call Biafra is actually called the Bight of Biafra. A lot of people are not inclined to want to come out of Nigeria and become Biafrans. They might have the desire to have an independent state, but not be a minority in the Biafra state, if that makes any sense to you. Do you know what I mean?
No, it does. And I think that message comes through as well a lot on this platform in just the narration. And just to that space that you spoke to earlier, you're not the first person to say that some of the tonality that I use in reference to that space, that it might well need adjustment, because I hear a lot of that complaint from especially the Igbo people, but now you are saying it as well, and you have no ox to grind.
One man, hold on 1 second. I think I have a problem with my audio. Someone called me in and cut off my audio. So hold on 1 second, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just speaking to that space that Alexander was speaking to, that there was already.
Let me log out and log back in. I can't hear you very well.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So just speaking to that space that Alexander was speaking to, that there was already a tradition of observing the 30th or the 31st of May as a day of reflection in the Eastern community. So just to speak to that space, so the total credit might not well go entirely. The total credit might not well go entirely to the Ipob movement, because there is already a tradition in situation. But the observance of the sit-at-home this time around, there's no doubting that it is of a greater quantity than what had always been the tradition. So they've observed it more now than ever before. So how much of this observation is attributable to the Ipob movement is the first question. And is this enhanced observation, is it a token, is it a sign, is it a signal, is it an indication of the followership that the Ipob movement have, or is it an indication that the people align with them? So is it that indication, or did they feel obliged for reasons of just self-preservation? So there are two elements. Is it that they are observing it in compliance and in agreement with the Ipob directive, or are they observing it for reasons of self-preservation? So this next clip will shed more light on that. So listen to this.
I am warning everybody tonight, if you come out on the 31st on Monday, you are going to die. I don't want Nigerian army to kill you and then you start blaming people that are innocent. Because some of you hate yourselves. Self-hatred is the key killer of the destiny of the East. Self-hatred. When you hate yourself, other people will hate you 4 times over. If you come out on the 31st, I'm warning everybody you're going to die.
Okay, so there you heard it. So that adds into the mix as well. And that adds into the mix off the back of an account that somebody gave yesterday, that their father was phoning them that he is changing his travel arrangements to go to the East for reasons of this now lockdown and shutdown and all the threats that are being made. So his father, an Easterner, is not is a Biafran, but not essentially an Ipob sympathizer. But of course, for reasons of caution and self-preservation, he has chosen to observe that stay away or sit at home. So what element of the threat to life is part of that observance, and what element of it is just a sympathy with the cause? So that is part of the permutations. I don't know if you want to speak to that space, Alexander.
I want you to observe, I want you to notice something when he's referring to the East and per your readouts in Nigerian newspapers. We're talking essentially of Biafra, but people are reporting Anambra, Imo, Enugu, and Abia State and Ebonyi State. Those are the core Igbo states. They're not talking about River State. They're not talking about Akwa Ibom State. So that's indicative of the fact that they're talking about the Igbo nation as against the Biafra. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
This sit at home, it actually extended as far as Asaba, which is in a Delta state, as you know. So that they do have.
Was it adhered to in Asaba?
It was because there's a lot of sympathy to that cause in that space. But just sorry, did you want to comment? Because I want to play you another clip which is totally different. This is Omoyele Sowore we're going to this time around.
No, go ahead and play your clip and let me see what I have to say about that.
Okay, so going to a totally different narration, we're going to Omoyele Sowore this time around. So it never rains, but it pours for the Nigerian state. Enemies everywhere, as far as they are concerned, and no more an enemy than this fella. And of course, he continues to take his beating. Omoyele Sowore, here he goes.
Yeah, they're shutting. Gosh.
So there you saw Sowore limping, but why is he limping? So guys, I bring you this. Police shoot Sowore during protest rally in Abuja, rushed to hospital. So the rush to the hospital is the clip that you saw, but then the narration that underpins that clip is this headline. Police shoot Sowore during protest rally in Abuja, rushed to hospital. So now let's now see what led to this. armed policemen in Abuja have opened fire on human rights activist Omoyele Sowore during a protest to demand an end to insecurity in the country. Sowore was shot in the right side of the stomach towards the hip by gun-wielding policemen drafted to the Unity Fountain. The police had already been stationed at the fountain before the arrival of the activists and other protesters. They opened fire at the unarmed protesters. Many people also sustained varying degrees of injury during the incident. He was rushed to an undisclosed hospital. So that is the short, because it's just relatively breaking news. But so that is the short and to the point narration of that. But the video itself speaks to it even more. But what are you making of that space, Alexander?
Anyone, according to Buhari, anyone seen to be a leader of a secessionist group is an enemy of the state. And if you're an enemy of the state, they will put a label on you and you'll be done away with. So I don't know why Sowore puts himself regularly in harm's way. You don't see Kanu do that. I don't know why he does this. He needs to be very careful. Very soon, he might not be able to recover from whatever happens to him. Do you know what I'm saying to you? He is seen as an enemy of the state, and that's what the government labels him as. So any hostility towards him should be expected because of the label attached to him.
Alexander, I'm going to say something to you now that is probably going to shock and surprise you, maybe even alarm you. But for me, with Sowore, I've always thought that there's a part of him that is seeking immortality through martyrdom. I've always had the sense that it's seeking immortality to martyrdom because, of course, he's already had his children, is already a success commercially, and now he continues to stand alone in front of like armored tanks and AK-47. Yes. And there's a part of me that thinks he's actually seeking immortality through martyrdom. Is he wanting to be a martyr, do you think?
I don't know what he wants to be, another Abiola or what. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know. It baffles me. I don't know why his advisors are not telling him what to do and what not to do. I don't know why he wants to die early. But like you said, it might be because he wants to be a martyr. It's possible. I'm not going to rule that out, but I'm not very sure. But I think it's a stupid act. I think it's a stupid move. Everyone knows it's been labeled. Kano has been labeled, and whatever they see, if they put themselves in harm's way and they get targeted and killed, it will be because of what they did, i.e. Kano and Sowore. It was a stupid move. It was ill-advised. I don't know why he did it.
Because the last time he came out in the public space to do this protesting, he was heavily beaten up by a policeman. This second time now, he was shot at. The thing caught his leg. If he had caught, they said stomach, abdomen, hip. So if he had caught him in another part of his body, then we'll be talking a different headline in this session. And every time it comes out, the response is getting more brutal and more extreme. And he is even pushing it further. There was a time he went to the airport in Abuja and they spray painted NSAS on the corkers of the parking space. So all these things he does and he does and he does. And the pushback from the powers that be, from the government, is more and more intolerance and more violence. So at one point, some trigger happy. We all know the history of our unknown policeman, etc., within the Nigerian space. So and we see it going on and on with this guy, and it continues to push the envelope. They say, of course, it takes a brave man to fight for freedom, and these are some of the things that you go through.
Yeah, but right now it's being foolhardy, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, he is. Yeah, that was exactly the time I was going to use. So is he being foolhardy now? And just because he's done his bit, we're not saying sit down and be quiet, but fight it a different way. You're an intellectual, you're a newspaper man, you're a publisher, so you have a different set of tools. You know, you have different weapons to use to fight the cause. And then occasionally you just make an appearance at a rally to say that I am with the people and Luther continue, but he's always at the forefront.
He doesn't have. He obviously doesn't have the infrastructure and the facility like Kano does. It really doesn't. The Ipob is a pretty, based on the African standards, sophisticated network.
It's a huge operation.
Yes, exactly. And they have, I believe there's a state that is sponsoring them and providing intelligence. And you and I can think about that. But I would also come to this. I don't know where you were during the height of Abacha regime, when people thought that Nigeria was okay at the brink of split up. America brought in people, took out Abacha, took out Abiola, just because they knew that they couldn't afford to let that country erupt. I could see that happening again. It's very easy for that to happen again. Because
Condoleezza Rice, wasn't it, that gave him the tea?
Yeah, of course.
You remember Condoleezza Rice?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Susan Rice. Susan Rice.
Yes.
It was Susan Rice that did it.
Susan Rice,
it was Susan Rice. Yeah. Thank you, Igor. It was I was going to correct you actually. It was Susan Rice that did that as an agent. We play. These people don't want Nigeria divided because of their vested interest. People have to understand that. But I know that if it's going to be possible, the first part of Nigeria that's going to split away will be the Igbo nation, not Biafra, Igbo nation. But you see, let me tell you the contradiction here. Biafra cannot succeed without Biafra. Igbo nation cannot succeed, and nobody's ever said this. Igbo nation cannot succeed without Biafra, because they need that economic bite in terms of the oil in the Biafra nation, like rivers, Akwa. Because what Igboland has, essentially, they have the numbers, but they cannot sustain themselves as a country. They can't. They cannot. And this was what the mistake that Ojukwu made. Biafra as a civil war was successful. Nobody says that. Ojukwu already captured River State, already captured Delta State, already captured Benin. Israel told him, you have gotten the key parts of Nigeria, declare secession, stick your flag, and we will support you to be an independent nation. My big brother Ojukwu said, no, we go to the seat of power. We're going to Lagos. And that was what they felt. That was where you got the Ijaore, Oleku Jaore in Ondo State. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So Igbo land would pull out of Nigeria because they have the momentum, but they need Biafra to succeed as a nation. That is the gospel truth.
All right, brilliant. Igbo, I'll hear you next, but before I hear you next, an Igbo day, an Ipob day, listen to this.
Another Savior, holy, 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 another.
So what you are seeing, Igbo, are the streets of Igboland as we speak today, totally empty.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War.
So there you have it, Igbo. Oli, Woli, Woli. What says you, Igbo? Another savior, or Boju Boju? Where are we?
I am very surprised to see that the street is so empty.
Yeah,
like
it's almost total. Yeah, it's almost total compliance.
Yeah, like a ghost street. So we see that. Are we going to give it to Mazi? Are we going to give it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or we are going to give it to? We are just going to give it to those that are mourning their heroes.
Well, there you are.
Because they say it's a state, it's a mourning day for the fallen soldiers. You understand? So it's either we give it to Nnamdi, or will give it to the entire Igboland for remembering their heroes. So I don't know.
Who are you giving it to? Who are you giving it to, and why?
Well, for me, I'm giving it to those that are in solidarity with the fallen Biafrans, not really Namdi.
Okay, and why?
Because I know normally it's something is a routine thing they do every year. I think so. I've been following up, so we just believe that is an Igbo thing. It's not really Namdi Kanu things. That's my own take. I don't know others can.
But you see, the thing is, it'll be very difficult to take the credit away from the Ipob movement, and it will almost be uncharitable to take away the credit from the Ipob movement, because whether this has been observed all the way through or not, certainly I wasn't aware of it. Almost certainly you were, but certainly I am aware of it now in the build-up to it. And I led up to it on this platform as well, saying that it is going to be the acid test of the influence of that movement. And what we're seeing now is a near total compliance. So this is what is going on. So surely some credit to Ipob. So surely some credit to Ipob, Ego.
Yeah. You give it to Ipob, but I don't really, because me, I felt as a routine thing. That's why it normally went on like that. So I cannot really take side right now, whether it's for really Ipob or for. I would like to see what is Kinero first, because if I say I should give it to Ipob now, then I'm now telling myself that these people are not mourning their heroes of the past. They are taking the instructions of Nnamdi Kanu, because really this Ipob movement, I think there have not been fallen heroes in this Ipob movement. That will be said, and that will lead to the entire nation. I think the entire Southeast mourning you understand, the position of this man. So I think, to me, it's a routine thing to mourn their fallen heroes of Biafra.
Yes, but to this level of compliance, because they put, personally, I think the credit has to go to Ipob a little bit, maybe not in totality, but certainly an acknowledgement that they've impacted on the day. There is no denying that, because they put their chips on the table and they've cashed out a near total compliance. They've backed down the governor of Ebonyi State. They've backed down everybody, and they've sat at home as instructed for whatever reason, either for reasons of self-preservation, because you saw the clip that I played from their leader. So for whatever reason, they complied, and that really is something that that they have to be acknowledged.
Commendable.
Yes.
Commendable, really.
Yeah. So thank you. I know that Ovie cannot wait. So Ovie, let me, because I know you want it. So we don't have Freeman here. Oh yeah, I know you want it. Oh yeah, start dancing.
Holy, 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 holy.
So what are you making of it, Ovie?
Good morning, sir, Mr. Alexandra.
Good morning,
Good morning, everyone. I mean, I told you the other day that it's going to be possible. I mean, you have to give it to Kanu, 100%. Like it or not, hate him or love him, you have to give it to him. And it's a shame. The governors, the senators, all the elected officials of that region.
Hold on, let me interrupt you. Let me just interrupt you for 1 second. You say we have to give it to him, but for what reason? Is it for the reasons that his people love him, or for this reason?
We'll see.
I'm going there. Just allow me.
I am warning everybody tonight. If you come out on the 31st on Monday, you are going to die.
So is it for self-preservation or out of love?
I'm going there.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Daddy Shoki, we always say, shame go by people. Shame supposed by all the elected officials that has been coming from that region since the end of the war to this moment. This is what they should be ought to have been doing every year. So it takes Kanu, that's why I say hate him or love him, give him that credit 100%. Because it's actually, forget about all the shenanigans that is happening around this cause. It's a just cause. It's a good cause. They are remembering their past heroes. It's something that not to be ought to be in a calendar. It's supposed to be something national holiday. Or however, I mean, I understand how the Nigerian state will feel about it, but to actually move forward, if they actually say they actually forgive the Biafran from pulling that stone, it should be on the Nigerian calendar. It should be a national day.
I actually agree with that. It's actually more important than June 12, which they are commemorating.
So that's why
people dead.
Give it to, you should give it to Kanu, regardless of the language you use, however you put it out. The most important thing, he get it done. That's what we want from a leader. We don't care how you get the job done. Get it done. That's why we elected you. We choose you, however. And that's what this man is doing. And so you have to give it to him 100%. That's Kanu's job.
We're all waiting for a free man to come and give us a proper rendition of that song.
And again, my respect to Sowore himself, but the pressure is feeling the pressure. He's feeling that he's fading out of the whole narrative. That's why he's pulling all these things. I'm not saying he put himself out there so that he gets shot, but it's obvious he's getting the pressure.
Sorry, hold on over here. To that thing that I put to Alexander, do you, because there's a sense, and I have some of that sense, that there's an element of this guy that is seeking immortality to martyrdom. Does he want to get himself killed to immortalize his name, do you think?
I wouldn't say that is far from his antics, but I think it's too early for that. Sowore is a foreign agent, front runner and all this.
You see, you always have to go that extra mile of you. You always have to go. You will be talking sense. You will be talking sense up to 80%. When you're about to get 100, you go down the route. Let's see where you're going.
Because you don't agree with that 1% or 2%. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, carry on. Let's hear it.
In this modern world, follow the money. Once you follow the money, you know why everything is happening. This man is $10 million richer. If I have that in my account, I will be in street of Abuja, Lagos, and insulted every leader we ever had that I believe I can do it. What else can they do to me? Is to kill me. Now, if they kill me, my family will be good. I got $10 million in my account. That's exactly what you see playing out. Of course, you have to give it to him. He has the credit. He's been in the struggle for 30 years. But at this point, he's too smart, he's too intelligent, he's too, exposed for him to be doing the way he's doing it now. He has gone. It's too big for the way.
Yes, he has served his time in the trenches. What you are saying, he has served his time in the trenches. I expect
at this moment, Sowore should be at least 60 to
40% of
Nigerian youth should be under Sowore, chanting for him. If he actually if he actually really want to, make change or whatever that he actually wants to do. But for the fact that the money is coming from a place that have a different interest from what we actually want in the country, that's where you're seeing him.
Sorry, is Sowore not speaking to the language of what you want? Alvia, you are the young person here. Is Sowore not speaking to the language of what you want?
Just capitalizing on those languages and get away with it. It's not, it's not for the movement for me.
All right. Everybody stay in situation because you are all important to this conversation. But the one voice that we have missed is the voice of Forthright. She brings this to us again. Forthright, are you there? Forthright?
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, hold on. Before you come in, a musical introduction to usher you in. Forthright.
Another Savior, holy, 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 holy.
All right, so holy, holy, or not, Forthright.
Beautiful. I must warn you, Ovi, please, why are you always stealing my words?
What are your words?
You're always stealing my words, my ideas. I was just going to come on to praise Nnamdi Kanu for what a successful. Yeah, you just said everything that I had wanted to say, and I just feel like going off now since you said it. Yeah, we must give it to Nnamdi Kanu for that. And it's a shame, like you said, that I lived in Lagos. I lived in Nigeria for at least 25 years, and I knew nothing about the Biafran War. So it's a shame that we don't know our own history. It's a shame. I only knew about Biafra like 5 years ago.
Sorry to interrupt you, Forthright. Do you agree with Ovie, and I agree with him, that Biafra should actually be a national day because it exceeds June 12 in its importance and its impact?
That's what I was going to say.
All right.
It should be a day of standstill for all of Nigeria. And this is one of the ways we try to hide from the truth, and we cannot heal until we face the truth. We cannot. This is one of the reasons why we're still having issues today. You can't sweep some things under the carpet, I'm afraid. And unfortunately, even our own personal lives, we try to do the same thing. Somebody does something wrong, we say, oh, let's just forget it. No, don't forget it. Talk about it, deal with it, correct it. And Sowore, please, Sowore should go and sit down. Please, let him go and sit down somewhere. I beg.
When I called him a poser, the last time, somebody nearly reached through the computer screen to give me a 30 slap. But is he a poser?
I'm not surprised. You know what? Do you have the video clip of where whatever it is hit him? Do you have it?
Well, no, I have the clip of him hobbling to
No.
hospital. But,
you see, I saw the video.
You know you have to be mindful on YouTube. Yeah.
He was hit. And there was smoke around him. When a bullet hits you, there's no smoke.
No, it was a tear gas canister. Yes, shrapnel from tear gas canister. But it is immaterial. The place that it hit him, had it hit him in the neck or the head, then we'll be telling a different story now, isn't it? We'll be forgetting Ipob'S Day and talking about Sowore. So is he seeking immortality through martyrdom? Or am I just being silly?
I don't know what he's doing, or maybe it's just another Dino Malay, another drama queen. But you can't raise up a placard against Nigerian government. You should go and sit down somewhere.
All right. Hold your thought. Alexander and Igor, let me shuffle you, and please, neither of you leave before you come back again. Both of you really, because people just adore hearing from your voice. But I want to bring in a couple of Igbo voices to come and celebrate. Let me bring in Victor and Henry.
Where's Maurice?
It's even Freeman that we're waiting for, because Freeman I don't know what he will do today. Maybe we'll be jumping up upside down or whatever.
I think you need to give me a voice before I sign out.
Yeah, Baba Akure, yes, please. Sorry, Forthright, let Baba Akure come in quickly. Yeah, Baba Akure.
Just a moment. Let me change something here. Uno momento. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now to start with, I am really happy for Igbo people anyway. That is honest, to be honest with you. It is I cannot my joy is unmeasurable because I can see the unity that they portray. So, and like everybody said, I think we can give kudos to Nnamdi Kanu, and as I always say, I don't have any problem with him. The only issue I have with him sometimes is like threatening people and stuff like that. But let's just put that apart. I really commend his effort. Like me, I know a little bit about Biafra, and that has been a very long time that I really aware about Biafra, but not as much as this commemoration day. I never aware of this before. But
do you think it should be a national day?
You are very right. You see, that is why I said I need to contribute very fast. This is one of those things that is causing marginalization between us. In Canada, there was a problem between Aboriginal, which own Canada, and the government of Canada, which was created by British. Millions of Aboriginal people were perished during residential school. But what the government did was that, because they have sense, There is a rift between Aboriginal and the government. What they have to do is that they have to make reconciliation. I can tell you in Canada today, there is a reconciliation public holiday. But 3 million of whatever the number they call it, either 5 million or 3 million people perish. But the Nigerian government doesn't care about it. This is part of the hatred that we are talking about. We just fold our arms and just blind our eye as if nothing really happened. Because some people are Igbo, some people are Yoruba, some people are Hausa. So that is why we are having this problem. And if we still clamoring on one Nigeria, Nigeria cannot move forward without reconciliation. That is one of the problems. Now, I want to say something to issue of Alexander, because it made mention that if Igbo want to go on their way, there's nothing they are going to sustain themselves. That is a big lie.
Okay, hold on. Let me remove myself and bring Alexander back on. So if you are speaking to him, then he can.
Go ahead, Babakure. I'm listening to you.
Okay, now you did mention in your statement that if Igbo, Abia State, because that Abia State, Imo State, Anambra, and some other part like that, if they want to go,
Enugu and Ibonyi,
like without having river state, they are not going to be succeed. I don't believe in that.
Okay,
because
why?
Okay, that is what I'm going to explain to you now. You see, Africa, we are so blessed with mineral resources and brain. When you make that statement, I now check what are the things that we can find in Abia, what are the things that we can find in Anambra, what are the things that we can find in Ebonyi, and all these states, they have zinc, they have gold, they have all mineral resources. There are some people that have timbers. I live in New Brunswick, Canada. Our major resources is lumber, and everybody is doing averagely okay. It is just mismanagement. I live in Antigua and Barbuda for good 8 years. That country, it is about, they don't have any other resources except tourism. They are living fine. They have 24 hours electricity. I said on this program the other day, do you know how they generate their power? They generate their power through generator. And they have factory in that country. The same thing when you go to St. Kitts, when you go to St. Nevis, when you get to Barbados. I went to all those countries because I live in that area for many years. These people are doing well, okay. And what do they depend on? Tourism.
Yeah, Baba,
we don't have to have
let him respond quickly, because I want to get to Victor, because Victor cannot contain himself anymore. You see how big his smile is getting. So
I respect your position, but those minerals you're talking about, they're not going to turn the Igboland into another Dubai. Nigeria is, in natural resources, one of the richest countries in the world. From my perspective, I have been, I'm speaking with authority. Authority. I have been from Asaba to Anambra, Enugu. I have businesses over there. I hire people over there. They have the numbers. They don't have the natural resources to sustain a new country. They need Biafra. They need River State. They need what's it called? But the average Igbo person, to his credit, will tell you we have oil in Igboland. They do, but it's not in commercial quantity. That's the problem. It's not in the first place oil was discovered was in Imo State, but it's not in commercial quantity. So they have the numbers. They have the know-how. They are highly industrious people. You give an Igbo person $1. Let me give you an example. Let me tell you something my wife told me. I, as a 60-something-year-old man, I love photography. I love music, and I spend a lot of dollars on music and photography. You know what my wife told me, who is a core Igbo person from Imo State? She said, you know what, baby? I said, what? You know, if you were an Igbo man, that money you using to buy this, you use it to build a mansion in Lagos. That is the mindset of an Igbo man. He's always thinking of the next thing to do, how to better himself as an individual, but as a collective, as a nation. I'm sorry, I beg to differ with you.
Yeah, to support your point, Mr. Alexander, one thing people don't understand is that right now, the Igbo nation and the Fulani or the Hausa nation are both economically tied to the West.
Yes.
So before you even start, that's why I say all this noise about I want to go. When the elites are not with you guys, that's totally a problem, because that's where their interest is. All their money, all their investment, 99% of the investment of an average Igbo man is in the West. So how you want to do? So before you even start tapping into that resources that you call you have resources, you need money first to tap into that to start.
Thank you,
years, if not decades.
Thank you. I totally agree with you.
Before that time. So when you see the elite are not even making us about all this is going on, it's because of that. That's where the money is.
Ovie, Baba Kure, Mabinu, hold on. When you look into this Biafra and Igbo secession, you would come to the realization that the people agitating for it are the working class people who don't see a future in Nigeria, who think that when you create an Igboland, everything will turn around immediately. The elites, like you call it, the working class, the elites, the ruling class, economically, have their wealth outside of Igboland. Yeah. That's why you see most of them don't support the idea of an Igboland, because they know what they're going to lose. They know what they lost. They know what they lost in the Nigerian Civil War of 1970. They don't want to go back there again. So that's just the demographics, really.
Yeah, sorry, just to come in. Hold on, Ovie. Just to come in as well, off the back of what Alexander is saying, I too am of the thought that the strength and number of the agitation, the Biafra agitation, is essentially a working class movement. And the thing that drives them to that movement is because they are so beaten down within the society, they are marginalized by the country itself, and then the economy does not favor them, and then they are being emasculated a little bit, and now they are finding their mojo in this now new, no, enough is enough, that is the narration of that Ipob. So they gravitate to that to find their masculinity, essentially the working class people.
Yeah, but let me contribute my last quarter before I leave, please. This is very important. People always say Igbo people are marginalized. Igbo people are marginalized. On there, the reason why people are marginalizing them. Why is it that Igbo people have a problem in Ghana? Why is it that Igbo people have a problem in South Africa? Why is it that they pick on Igbo people in Kano?
In India as well. I don't know. In India
I as a foreigner, if I go into Ghana, and Ghana is a country I've worked out of before, I understand that I am a foreigner in Ghana, and I have to respect their laws and the tradition. I can't impose myself as a Nigerian on a Ghanaian. It would not work. The typical expression, nobody owns Lagos, because Lagos now essentially is owned to the tune of maybe 60-65% by Igbos, is the reason why people are very uncomfortable with Igbo and marginalize them. That is the gospel truth. That is the bottom line. You know, you give a people an opportunity and they take over, they don't respect the people of the place. How would you expect the people to feel? How would you expect the people to feel?
You know, another set of people that they attribute that narrative that you've just described to, another set of people that gets that attribution, do you know who they are? The Jews. So it's a Jewish narrative. Thank you.
One man. Again, to your narrative about the working class, which are pretty much the middle class. They are let me not use the word nothing.
Yes.
They don't want much in the Nigerian space. So that's why they don't really have a voice. And the
what do you mean?
they
Sorry,
have a voice,
they are not what? They are not what?
They don't want much.
The working class.
They don't watch much. Yeah, so
no.
They
are what a lot. They are what a lot because they they constitute a critical mass, and that is their strength. That is their what? The critical mass.
Let me arrive at what I'm saying.
They have the numbers essentially.
Of course, and that is the strength. That's the strength.
Listen, the number used to speak volume when the labor union is still strong. But thanks to
the number is what we are seeing impacting in the East now. What do you think is driving this? Is the numbers? But carry on, land your point. Let's hear from Baba Akure because I really want to go to Victor. He wants to celebrate, so let him have his celebration.
You guys have a good day. I gotta go.
Oh, Alexander, you see, this is what you do. You just flash up a moment and
I'm losing money. I've spent about 1,000 talking to you right now.
Oh no. Okay. Especially Alexander is our biggest donor, so go and earn some money so you can.
You guys have a good day, yeah.
And you too, a pleasure. So land your point. Let's bring BI in because BI is also here to celebrate.
When the Nigerian working class has a voice, when the labor union is still very strong. But thanks to my uncle Ushomole don't sell their house during the Obasanjo regime. So right now they are struggling to even have a voice. Kanu movement has little to do with the working class, and average working class no even one problem. The small thing when they get, they want to maintain it like that.
Who do you think is underpinning?
People who are driving Kanu movement have frustrated Nigerian youth, especially the GNZ and the millennials that
they are the working class. They are the working class. They're your organizers, your shop owners, your spare parts dealers, whatever. Hold on, Ovie. Let Baba Akure.
Because I have to go. Okay. Yeah. Now to that of Sowore, I saw the video this morning. And I think, anyway, I do not have any problem with Sowore as well. And as a matter of fact, I was one of those that even campaigned for him in 2018 or so, because I told my family categorically, if you do not vote for him, do not call me for any help. That is just a fact. Anyway, now when I sat down and I take a look at everything and I just see that, well, I think Sowore need to come back home. Because it is not by I'm not causing anyway, because Nigeria is not going to work. And the problem Sowore is having is that he believes that those who are agitating for Yoruba, they are low class. That is my personal opinion anyway, and that's how I feel. Nobody really supports your issue of movement revolution right now. Is either you support Biafra or Igbo, or you support Oduduwa. That is the two fashion that is going on right now.
We lost Henry, you know, whilst you guys were, and I was really waiting to get to Henry, but carry on. Henry, come back.
So the issue of go and kill yourself because of one Nigeria, it is that one. Nobody really care about that. When I read some comment on Vanguard this morning, everybody's saying the same thing. You need to come back home. Nobody really have time for all that now. You join Oduduwa Nation or you join. But to me,
if you want.
It feel like those who are agitating, they don't know what they are doing, and maybe they are not up to his standard. Anyway, that is how I feel. That is my personal opinion. He may have different agendas.
Do you think he wants to be a martyr? Do you think he's trying to be a martyr?
Well, I don't know. That question is personally to him. He know what he really wants.
Yeah, from your reading, you're a political observer. You observe politics as much as the rest of us. So what are your thoughts?
To me, if I would think that maybe he want to write his name that like you said, maybe you want to, because it doesn't really make any sense for you, three of you, 4, 5, and go in front of one place and display play card. That is why I said to you the other day, if he and Igboho, if two of them contested for contest for something in Yoruba land, Igboho will defeat him, because nobody really has time for issue. Nobody really have time for issue of Yoruba nation now. Igboho may not really go to school, but it doesn't really matter in this situation we find ourselves. You need to come back home. all this kind of display card and all kind of want to kill yourself from one Nigeria, it is gone. Nobody really have time for that.
All right. Thank you, Baba Akure. Let's go to actually Fortright had the floor. So Fortright, sorry, you were interrupted. So carry on, and then I want to get to Victor before we lose. I want to round Fortright off so I can focus fully on Victor and BR. So yeah. So Fortright, I just land your thoughts, and then I'll go to Victor and BR. So Fortright.
Okay. I just want to say to my Biafrans, my lovely Igbo people, we're so sorry that we did not understand you a lot of the time. So this is a shout out to you. Love to you guys. Wish you all the best. We're with you 100%. Love you. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Fortright. So to Bia and Victor, especially Victor and Bia, Victor and Bia and Victor, hurrah, celebrations, dancing.
Another Savior, holy, 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 another Savior, holy, 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 holy,
So Victor, to you, how impressed are you by the performance that has been put up by the Easterners and near total compliance with the directive? This tells us the strength of feeling coming from that space, and no longer can you make a mockery of the Biafra agitation. Victor.
Okay, one man, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, clearly.
Okay, good afternoon, one man, good afternoon, the whole house. I want to say this. Let nobody see, everybody has their own relevance, all right? Let nobody ever try to take this sit at home away from Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody has the right to do that. He alone did it, all right, with his team. He did it. 8 years ago, nobody is staying at home. 10 years ago, I lived all my life in the East. 10 years ago, nobody observes this. All right. So the awareness, all that time he spends shouting, cursing out, and all those rants he was doing, online. This is the fruit. All right. And beautifully so, the Anambra State governor gave a holiday today, and the Ebonyi State governor, who said everybody should go to work today, actually made a U-turn. This is impressive. All right, everybody has their own relevance. All right, Nnamdi Kanu he did this one. Let's not try to take it away from him. All right, that's for me on that. Whether the Igbos are ripe to seek their own country or they are not ripe to seek their own country, anybody who is forecasting anything right now is just dealing with hypothesis. You have nothing to prove what you're saying. You're just saying it. All right, you're just saying what you think. You really can't say that the Igbos won't be able to survive or something. All right, let me give you an example. I am 38 years old now. I was born into this kind of country, and at 38 years old, I am still witnessing the same level of wrath, even more. Is this the kind of country you want to hand over to your kids? No. So even if it's going to take 10 years, 20 years for the Igbos to, if they have their own country, it will take 30 years for them to build and go towards prosperity. It is worth doing,
Sorry,
if
Victor,
it is, and nobody's actually trying to be like Dubai. People can actually be better than Dubai, or people can actually live in a sane, dignifying country. Ask yourself, why are plenty people living abroad members of IPOB? It is because they have seen what true governance looks like. All right. So it's not, let's not try to, this country, everybody in this country has a little bit justification to feel the way you feel. If you feel frustrated with this country, you are right. You understand? If you feel good with this country, of course you are right, because even in the Ross, some people are making money. You know, so let's not blame or think, let's not think that people who are fed up are not getting it right. No, it's just what the country has presented, you know. So that's for me on that one.
And the Sowore situation, is it not time for him to slow it down a little bit? Because he's going on the street by himself to confront damn David, as you guys will call it, policemen. So is it, and nobody is really they're not following his clamoring. So is it time for him just to re-strategize and approach it from a different angle?
That's the word, re-strategize. Because truth is, in Igboland, there are the big masquerades don't dance too long on the stage. All right. Sometimes when you do some of these things, you stay away. You can imagine, okay, you can imagine now, if every day you go on Radio Biafra, you are hearing the voice of Nnamdi Kanu every damn day. Do you think sometimes you put it off and sleep? But he creates that level of scarcity that sometimes when he's on, if you jump on it, you'll be happy. You're jumping. You're right on time. So I think strategy could look at. Of course, I knew this thing was going to happen. If you stand in the face of the police for too long, they are going to do something they don't want to do.
Yeah, you see, you know, we have a history of unknown soldiers and unknown policemen within the Nigerian space. So if that shrapnel had hit him in a different part of the body, then forget this celebration that we're celebrating. The whole space
totally different story.
Yeah, different story. He will be the headline. So what is the actual? Does it want to become a martyr? Is really a question that I'm now asking. What are your thoughts?
For him, he alone, because as at now, you can only judge people according to what their postures, their gestures, their utterances, and their behaviors. All right. But for now, only he knows what he's trying to become. But what we are talking about is what we have seen. And what we have seen is you are staying too long here. If you have a plan B, or you unveil it. But if the plan is always just to carry placard, well, let's see how long that goes.
We not go agree. We not go agree.
It's taking too long.
We not go agree. We not go agree. All right. Thank you, Victor. Are you on your way out? You are going to celebrate, Abi. Is the curfew over? Is the lockdown over? Are you in the east?
No. I'm in Lagos presently, I'm just going to pick up my kids from school.
Okay. Well. Is today not a public holiday? It's a public holiday here.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Have fun with the kids. Well done, Victor. And
thank you.
Come and celebrate later in the evening. It's going to be party galore with Igbo music and Atilegu dancing and whatnot. Bia will do some movement for us, maybe, if we can persuade her. But let's see if we can get some movement out of her now. So thank you, Victor. Bia, celebration, hurrah! Here it is.
Well, holy, 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 another Savior, holy, 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 holy,
So another Savior, or just a fortuitous moment? Is it just a chance occurrence? What is your reading, Bia?
Hi, everyone. Well, most Biafrans may be celebrating, but for me, I am not celebrating 100% because Biafrans are still being killed as this process is going on, and we continue to mourn. So I do not believe in what our brother Alexander had said, I believe that we have issues of the bourgeoisies and the proletariat kind of system, where the people who are in power continue to marginalize the proletariat, even though they've got the power because they are the working class. People who are the working class are the power of the economy.
Yeah, but we have bourgeoisies everywhere. So
yes, that's what I'm saying. So in accordance to what our brethren Alexander had said, I disagree, because I believe that the marginalization of certain people has been played in a way to marginalize them even outside the country, because they've been labeled troublemakers. They've been put in a hostile situation. Everywhere they go, the people think they marginalize them, thinking that they've come for certain negative influence, but disregarding that they all.
But why is that? Why is that? Why is everybody of that thought?
Because they when you see an Igbo person, you already have an assumption that they are in for certain things, which I believe is like
even in India, Ghana, America,
everywhere,
yeah.
Because by history,
would you
remember.
Would you say the Igbo narrative is essentially the Jewish narrative, because that is the other space that where we see people just instinctually distrusted? Yeah,
it's similar. I would say that because the British had already from day one found out that Igbos will always be their problem, so they put them in they labeled them so that they will be everywhere they go around the world, you know, with the names. You can easily be marked here. This one, the Igbos, if you read the history book, gave the British hell, and they are still doing it. That's why they wouldn't want an Igbo to get close to the position of power. So these Igbos, if given the opportunity that most Nigerians have or other people have in the world, will be able to form their own nation. And remember, there is no nation that was built in one day. Rome is never built in one day. People, you know, improvise. They can fall to rise again and maybe learn from their failure and become better. So I wouldn't want anyone with a mindset of divide and rule just because you want to belong to this Nigeria. You now label certain people that are in Lagos or wherever they go, they have been labeled, forgetting that criminality don't only belong to the Igbos. We have other faces of criminals from different backgrounds. Just that maybe a certain group, when they are being labeled, people can steal and say, oh, it's an Igbo man. But in essence, it could be another tribe. So the Yorubas have some criminal elements that they are known for. Edo has their one. So we cannot just generalize criminality, say, oh, because Igbos are in Lagos, people don't like them because of their certain kind of ways. I don't believe that. I believe that if you want to be in one Nigeria, respect you, but don't use that opportunity to divide and have a mindset of hatred on certain people just because you want your position to be the final. You want to continue to be the bourgeoisies. You want to be on the side of history for the bourgeoisies that continue to marginalize the people that don't act like victims. I don't believe I'm a victim. I believe I'm a warrior. I believe my father, who fought in the Biafran War with a gunshot, sometimes I rub it and say, Dad, well done. He is my hero. He's a warrior. And that is one thing people don't understand, that indomitable spirit in Igbos are always there wherever they go. So if you put an Igbo person in a box, just let us go. You said we can't form our own nation. Just, you know, have that courage. Let us go. You've been calling us names. You don't like us. We are this. Every problem you labeled. Let us go, and then let us watch us fall. If we fall, we are not the first to fall in the world. We'll rise again.
We are happy to let the Igbos go or the Biafrans go, whatever. But you personally, between me and Ovie, we are not going to let you go, so they can go, but you stay. So Bia, it's going to be a short session this afternoon. Thank you, Bia. I'm just rounding off our comments now. So we go to Mike quickly. Mike, are you an Igbo man? Mike, are you an Igbo man? Oh, is it frozen? Okay, let's go to.
Hello, member? Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Are you an Igbo man? Yes. Are you an Igbo man? I can hear you. Are you an Igbo man?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you. Are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you an Igbo man?
Okay, if you can hear me, it doesn't really matter. I have to belong to somewhere. But what happens is that I'm a proud.
Okay. Let me introduce you. I can tell you an Igbo man. So hold on. Let me bring you in properly.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 holy. Another Savior.
So there you are, Mike. A day of celebration. What says you? Mike.
I don't know whether maybe can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just state your position quickly.
Can you hear me?
Your system. Yeah, just speak. Just speak.
Can you? What is happening?
All right. Because
Hello?
I'm really looking to
me?
round up. Yes, just speak because I'm looking to round off soon. All right. We'll come back to. Sorry. Yes, we can hear you. So don't say that anymore. Just state your position.
Can you hear me?
All right. Okay. I think network issues as always. Let's go to is it Makinde? I've been calling you Makinwa, but people were telling me it's Makinde. So Makinde, what says you? What are you making of the developments, the Igbo celebration, total compliance with the directive, and Sowore catching a shrapnel?
Actually, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Let me speak about the success of Nnamdi Kanu today. I think I will actually give this to him. He's a man, and I believe so much in his idea. It's today that I actually know the reason why some people will just come here. They will now be attacking some people that is doing the right thing, the way they know how to do their own thing. Today we are celebrating Nnamdi Kanu. But 10 years ago, most of them that condemning, that celebrating Kanu today, they were actually condemning him 10 years ago. So I didn't mean the guy have gave up on his struggle. Today, we won't be celebrating him. So I was surprised when somebody was even telling me that he did not know the issue of Biafra in the Nigeria's history, that he doesn't know the issue of Biafra. That is why he didn't support Kanu initially. I think all of us have to go back and study our history very well. History is very, very, it's something that I don't joke with. And whatever I see anybody speaking about the history, what has happened to us in this country, I always want to be in support of them. So today I'm celebrating Kanu, and I'm celebrating myself for believing in his idea when I was even at my 20s. Let me say when I was at early 30s. I celebrate him today because he's getting there. I thank him because he doesn't give up. So that kudos should go to Nnamdi Kanu. I appreciate that. And I appreciate myself for believing his idea when he started. Another thing again is about Yele. I don't know the reason why some people will just come here and be saying some jargons about Yele. That Yele chooses his own path, how to fight, does not make him a coward, does not make him be a proud person. He chooses his own path, his own path, the way he thinks he can do his own, the same way Kanu started his own 10 years ago, when people were condemning him. And my prayer is, I know one day, the glory will be given to God on Yele for what he believes. So today, somebody was telling me that is tear gas, that Yele should go and sit down, should shut up. I was very bitter when the woman was even saying that. Seriously, I'm not expecting anybody to look at Yele with his sacrifice, because some idiot calling himself a police officer shot a protesters without doing anything, without carrying a bullet, without carrying any arms. And today you are telling me the person they shot should go and sit down. I don't know where you put your brain. that person that talks. Whatever we are talking, let's be reasonable. Let us be reasonable at times. That someone believe in his own idea does not make him less valued. That is what he believes, and we should all respect that about him. As you are looking at me, if they declare Oduduwa today, I'm fine. If they declare what's it called, Biafra today, I'm good. And if Nigeria can work for every one of us, I'm still fine. What we have here is we have problem of bad leaders, people who have interior agenda over this country. So if all of us were here condemning the so-called freedom fighters to liberate us from this problem, and we are condemning their spirit, their efforts, their braveness to talk to the power, and we are here condemning any one of them, they should ask us what is running with our brains. We have a system that is not working. Nigeria is not working. That's why you see Nnamdi Kanu coming out, asking for Biafra. Nigeria is not working. That's why you see Sunday Igboho coming out, asking for Oduduwa. Nigeria is not working. That's why Sowore is asking for revolution. Let's shut down that system that is making this thing not work. So why are you now thinking that somebody that choose his own way of fighting, why are you now seeing him as if I don't really
sorry,
get
I lost connection for a moment. But thank you, Makinde. It's Makinde, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Makinde. We reconvene for the evening, so please join us. My laptop is playing up, so I have to just whisk through this. So Ola, let's hear from you, and then we round off with Anthony. So Ola, just quickly, let's take your points.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I want to congratulate our Igbo brethren. At least whatever I've seen today is a step forward and is very significant. You know, when all these jokers in the corridor of power think they have it all, I think Nnamdi Kanu and our Igbo brethren now are giving them a really tough time now. They have something now to think about now. Congratulations to them. I see Nigeria. I won't call it Nigeria, even eventually if it is Nigeria, but maybe like countries like United Kingdom. I don't care, but I see that the struggle will soon yield something positive. Then on that of Sowore, to me, I think people need to learn how to respect Sowore because everybody can decide how he wants to play. Sowore has been in this thing for so long, so he understands whatever he's doing. So that's what he wants for himself. He understands himself better. So I would prefer people to respect Sowore rather than someone that is not even doing anything to start condemning him. It's not done that way.
You can be critical of Sowore, though. It is not above criticism, and a lot of people have opinions about how he's moving and maneuvering. So people are entitled, especially when he puts himself in the public space.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that people are entitled to run commentaries on how he's maneuvering in the public space.
Yeah, I agree with you quite well, but
okay, I'm not quite sure what is going on with Ola, but because of time, let's go to Anthony. So, Anthony, I'm not even going to ask you if you're an Igbo man or not. I'm going by your last name to assume. So let me introduce you improperly. So just put on your dancing shoes.
Holy, 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 another Savior.
So, holy, what says you? Good to meet you, Anthony.
Well, I'm just proud of Nnamdi Kanu. Ipob, every other Biafran, you know, because I can't think of any Igbo home that did not lose people. You know, in my own home, we lost 2 uncles and 2 cousins. They don't even talk about my cousins because they were really small when they died. They don't talk about them as if they're even human. They talk about the older ones, but those ones, like, they don't talk about them. So it's just sad. So when you see people...
Are you giving Nnamdi Kanu the credit for today? And why?
Definitely. Because, like, for the past 5-6 years, he's been pushing it, and all of a sudden, even people now expect to, on the 31st or 30th, that they need to stay at home. So he's done something very, very good. There's no country what it's called that doesn't remember their past heroes, you know. So
do you think there should be a national day for Biafra? I think so.
Definitely.
Because it's even more of a moment in time in the history of Nigeria than June 12. So because we're talking about at least 1 million people, we can quibble about the figures, but at least a minimum of 1 million people lost their lives. I mean, that's almost World War II. That's genocide by...
Yeah, unfortunately, the ship has sailed, you know. But we'll be celebrating it in our own country when it comes.
Okay. Okay,
and
all right.
Please, I want to answer to this, Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
He made certain statements that,
no, those are his views. Yeah, so if you if you have views to the contrary, no. Hold on. You have to understand. No, hold on. Hold on. I'll give you the space to speak, but hold on. The person you're talking about is an experienced person, a well-educated man, a well-traveled man, and a highly successful man. Hold on. I'll give you the space. And a highly successful man. He's talking from the prism of having traveled the entirety of that Igbo space, so he knows the landscape. And hold on. He knows the landscape. And the reason why I was saying he's a highly educated, very successful man is because he traveled in that space as that educated person. So it's not just from man from the streets shooting from the hips. It's talking from experience and knowledge. Counter him. So
to start with, we are not going to be the only landlocked country. Switzerland is landlocked. Switzerland will feed the whole Africa.
But are you trying to draw parallels between Switzerland and Igboland?
Austria is landlocked, and there are several countries that their GDP is much higher than ours. So that's not even... one thing most people don't understand is we want our peace of mind. We deserve our peace of mind. We need freedom. That mindset he has about the Igbos is what we are trying to get away from.
No, he doesn't have a mindset. His wife is Igbo. No. His wife, hold on. His wife is Igbo, that which makes his children half Igbo.
Do you know how many
his children are half Igbo?
Whatever he decides, but he has a mindset.
No, you can't say that, though. I have a problem with that.
I grew up in Lagos. I was born in Ajay.
There you go. So he probably you're a Lagos boy. So,
I'm a Lagos boy, but
so
he needs to understand.
So what are your Eastern credentials if you're because you just carry an Igbo name? Because you just carry an Igbo name.
Look, I need him to understand. For him to say we cannot make a cut. What is he talking about? The remittances alone, I can assure you, and I can bet you, if you go look at the remittances that we get in Nigeria, 60% is from the Southeast. And again, I don't think he knows this, but the gas, on-land gas, I'm not talking of offshore, on-land gas, it is Imo State and Anambra, they have the highest.
Okay. Unfortunately, Anthony, you've come at the tail end of the show. I'll give you the space, but just to hurry along.
Pipelines, it's not coming from Delta or Yanagua or Bayelsa. It's coming from Ohaji, Imo State, and it's going all the way to the north. So I don't need to be educated on that. I do procurements. I know what I'm talking about. So for him to come out and start saying all this silly stuff, we are not even talking about building a nation, because we know we'll build a nation. We just want our peace of mind. That's all. That's what.
Well, you certainly get that peace of mind today.
We need our freedom to be able to determine if we want our ports to be open, we can open our ports. If we want to determine the airports, which one is going to be international and local, we can make those decisions, not someone in the north making them. That's what we want.
All right.
People don't seem to understand what we are fighting for.
Anthony, it's good to meet you first, because I always like to meet new people. But I'll ask you if you have the time to spare to come back in the evening, where no doubt this
I'll try.
thing.
I have a couple of stuff, but I can make time.
Yeah. 10:30 we usually start our session UK time. So if you're free, then just come, because I think you still have more to say. But forget all that.
Mr. Alex.
No, forget all that and forget Alexander. It's party time, so let's celebrate.
Thank you.
So thank you, Anthony, and hopefully we get to see you again. So the session was actually meant to be just an hour, but it's gone on an hour 40 minutes now. But then, of course, that was the expectation, especially seeing how momentous today has been. So a momentous day for the people in the Eastern Quarters. Our boy, our man from Umar here has come good. So cause for celebration in the Eastern Quarters. So we'll round off on a musical note, and I'll invite you to come join me in the comment section to carry on the celebration. As here I say, peace.
Well, this is Mobien.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPOB families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 Olumewojuku is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 Olumewojuku is another Savior. Holy, 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 Olumewojuku is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. Mwanemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior. Sing along, holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting it right and getting it faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting it right, holy, faster, never freedom. Is another Savior. Never freedom. Holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior.